Season 2, Episode 11. Borrow to build assets, never to finance lifestyle. Aum namapegavaith vasudevya. Imagine, two neighbors walking into the same bank on the same morning. Both qualify for exactly the same loan. Both receive the same interest rate. Both walk out with the same amount of money. 5 years later, one owns a profitable business, a growing portfolio of income-producing assets, and employs hundreds of people. The other struggles with monthly EMIs, sleepless nights, and constant financial stress. The bank didn't create two different futures. The loan didn't create two different futures. One decision did. What they chose to do with borrowed money. Stay with me until the very end, because today you'll discover why some debt creates wealth, while other debt quietly destroys it. Why the world's greatest entrepreneurs respect leverage but never abuse it. And why financial freedom begins the moment you stop borrowing to impress others. Imagine fire. The same fire cooks food, produces steel, generates electricity, keeps families warm. Yet, the same fire can burn forests, destroy homes, and take lives. Should we blame fire? No. We must understand it, control it, and respect it. Debt follows exactly the same principle. Debt is not your enemy. Careless borrowing is. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that wisdom lies in self-control. When desire controls decisions, suffering follows. When discipline guides decisions, prosperity follows. Many financial mistakes begin with one dangerous sentence. I deserve this. A bigger car, a luxury vacation, a lavish wedding, the newest phone, a lifestyle beyond today's income. And suddenly, tomorrow's salary has already been spent. The problem wasn't the purchase. The problem was buying tomorrow's happiness with tomorrow's money. Warren Buffett once said, "Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing." Debt becomes dangerous when borrowed without knowledge, without planning, without repayment capacity, or without a productive purpose. Imagine two seeds. One is planted in fertile soil, watered, protected, given sunlight. Years later, it becomes a mighty tree, producing fruit for generations. The other seed is thrown onto a concrete road. Nothing grows. Money behaves exactly the same way. Borrowed capital, planted into productive assets, can multiply. Borrowed money, spent on temporary pleasures, disappears forever. If today's message reminds you that discipline matters more than borrowing capacity, write one word in the comments. Discipline. Because discipline protects wealth long before wealth protects you. History gives us countless examples. Great civilizations invested borrowed resources into roads, ports, trade, agriculture, education, infrastructure. These investments generated future prosperity. But kingdoms that borrowed only to fund luxury, celebrations, and unnecessary extravagance eventually collapsed under their own financial weight. The lesson hasn't changed. Whether you're managing a nation, a business, or a household, borrowing must create future value. Modern psychology explains another trap: instant gratification. Our brains naturally prefer immediate rewards over long-term benefits. That's why advertisements rarely sell products. They sell emotions, status, comfort, belonging, recognition. The moment emotions begin making financial decisions, mathematics quietly leaves the room. Inside today's boardrooms, no responsible CFO asks, "Can we borrow?" The better question is, will this borrowing produce returns greater than its cost? That single question separates financial leadership from financial recklessness. Businesses borrow to expand factories, acquire productive companies, invest in technology, increase efficiency, improve logistics, generate future cash flow. Every borrowing decision is measured, calculated, stress-tested. Shouldn't our personal financial decisions follow the same discipline? But here's where everything changes. Imagine two entrepreneurs. The first borrows money to purchase expensive office furniture, luxury vehicles, designer interiors, and impressive corporate branding. The office looks extraordinary. The balance sheet doesn't. The second entrepreneur borrows to automate operations, improve customer experience, purchase efficient machinery, hire exceptional talent, and strengthen cash flow. 5 years later, the first entrepreneur still owns beautiful furniture. The second owns a thriving enterprise. The difference wasn't the loan. The difference was the purpose. Charlie Munger often reminded investors, "It's not supposed to be easy. Anyone who finds it easy is stupid." Financial success requires patience, analysis, humility, and disciplined decision-making. Chanakya advised rulers never to spend beyond the kingdom's capacity, because debt without productive output eventually weakens both the treasury and the people. The same wisdom applies today. Imagine an anchor. A ship needs an anchor when stability is required. But if the anchor remains attached while sailing, the ship never moves forward. Debt should behave like an anchor only when secured to a valuable asset. Otherwise, it becomes a weight, dragging your financial future underwater. If today's lesson changed the way you think about borrowing, take a moment to like this video and tell us in the comments. Have you ever purchased something that lost its excitement long before you finished paying for it? Your experience may help someone avoid the same mistake. Now let's build a simple financial rule. Before taking any loan, ask yourself 5 questions. Will this purchase increase my income? Will it appreciate over time? Can it generate cash flow? Can I comfortably repay it, even if my income falls temporarily? Would I still buy it if nobody else knew I owned it? If the answers are mostly no, pause. Think again. Sometimes the best financial decision is the one you choose not to make. Imagine a fruit farmer. He borrows money to install irrigation systems, improve soil quality, purchase better seeds. The harvest grows. Income increases. The loan becomes a stepping stone. Now imagine another farmer borrowing to organize an extravagant celebration while neglecting the farm itself. Months later, the celebration is forgotten. The debt remains. One borrowed against the future. The other borrowed from the future. There is a profound difference. Morgan Housel writes, "The ability to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want, for as long as you want, is the highest dividend money pays." Debt should move you closer to that freedom, not further away from it. Remember, financial freedom isn't measured by how much credit the bank offers you. It's measured by how little you depend upon it. Before signing your next loan document, pause. Ask yourself one question. Is this debt buying an asset that will improve my future, or merely satisfying a desire that will disappear tomorrow? That single question, repeated consistently, can save years of financial stress. Here's today's *** million-dollar principle ***. Borrow to build your future, not to decorate your present. Money borrowed for productive assets can create opportunity. Money borrowed for temporary consumption often creates obligation. Choose wisely. Remember, every EMI represents a promise your future self must keep. Respect that promise. Build before you display. Invest before you celebrate. Create income before increasing expenses. Own assets before chasing status. Allow leverage to become your servant. Never your master. If this episode helped you understand the true purpose of borrowing, subscribe and share it with a young professional, entrepreneur, student, or family member. Together, let's replace financial pressure with financial wisdom, consumption with investment, and debt-driven lifestyles with asset-driven prosperity. Better financial decisions create stronger individuals. Stronger individuals build stronger families. Stronger families strengthen organizations. Stronger organizations create a better society. And together, we leave behind a better world. Never fear debt. Fear undisciplined decisions. Because money borrowed wisely builds opportunity. Money borrowed carelessly builds regret. Choose opportunity. Choose discipline. Choose freedom. Aum Namabhagavath Vasudevya.